Hey everybody, happy Tuesday, and welcome back to Position to Prosper. I'm Arianne. So come on in and let me know where you are tuning in from as you're coming in. Also, please share and invite your followers by tapping on my head of security down there at the bottom. You can swipe up for Droid or left for iPhone. Also, you are able to tune in online at periscope.tv. All right, and also hearts. We like hearts here. We're trying to get to the Million Heart Club, and so we need your help to do that. Appreciate that in advance. So thank you guys for doing that, sharing and commenting. Appreciate it. Yesterday we talked about how to handle hometown haters, right? And I don't talk about haters much, but we looked at Jesus. He was getting famous and popular, and when he came home, the people were like, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? And people do that to us as we step out in faith and start walking into our purpose. People that we are familiar with are not. Hi from St. Louis. Thank you for tuning in. People are not always supportive of our dreams, and so we just can't take it personally when we start moving ahead and other people start dropping off, okay? So that seemed to be really helpful for a lot of people. So if you missed it, you can go back and catch the replay. I've posted it to YouTube as well, all right? So today we're going to talk about how to prepare for increase. Right? Because a lot of us, we want increase, but we're not willing to change and do something different. And we know that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Okay, so it's great to desire more and to long for more, but you got to do something different. So thank you for inviting your followers. So I want to share this message. I want to give you quick 8 things that are going to help you prepare for increase going forward. And yeah, for 2017, but you can apply it to a lot of different things. So we're going to look at Ecclesiastes 11, 1 through 6, and then I'm going to break it down for you. So Ecclesiastes 11, 1 through 6. Ecclesiastes 11, 1 through 6. And it says, I'm going to read it out of here because it's a little bit different. It says, cast your bread upon the waters, for after many days you will find it. Again, give portions to 7, yes to 8, for you do not know what disaster may come upon the land. If clouds are full of water, they pour rain upon the earth. Whether a tree falls to the south or to the north, in the place where it falls, there it will lie. Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap. As you do not know the path of the wind or how the body is formed in the womb, so you cannot understand the work of God, the maker of all things. Verse 6, sow your seed in the morning, and at evening let not your hand be idle. For you do not know which will succeed, whether this or that, or whether both will do equally well. All right, so those verses are really talking about taking risk, is talking about diversifying and sowing wisely and, generously. And so I'm going to break that down for you in eight really ideas or principles. So write these down. The first one is this: you're going to have an open mind. You're going to have an open mind, okay? Again, I said if you're continuing to do the same thing and expecting a different result, it's not going to happen. That is insanity. So verse 1 says, ship your grains across the sea. So you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone. Yeah, you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone. And a lot of people, they haven't been out of their state, never been, out of their time zone to a different country or anything. And it's going to require you to be open-minded, okay? A couple years ago, I wanted to go to Iceland for my birthday. And people were like, why? Why do you want to go there? And I'm like, well, because it's someplace different. It's not your normal travel destination. And it was amazing. Highly recommend it. If you're ever thinking about somewhere to go, Iceland is amazing. But I was open-minded. I love to travel, so I'm never really afraid of anything. And no, I don't just travel, to crazy destinations. I did my research and all that beforehand. But you got to be open-minded if you're going to experience increase, okay? And invest in some people and some things and places that don't look like you. All right, that don't look like you, because you just never know how God is going to use that person or what doors will be open. So you got to be open-minded, all right? The second thing is this: you're gonna have to be patient. You're gonna have to be patient. I know we like microwave success in our generation, and social media makes everybody look like an overnight success, and it's just not true. It is not true. Like, you don't see the behind the scene grind that they went through in order to get to where they are. So you're going to have to be patient. And the second part of verse 1 said, after many days, you will find it again. We don't know if many days is 30, 60, 90, 365. We don't know how many days they are talking about. So we have to be patient. Right? When we're sowing into something new, it may not come right back to you in a week or two. It may take some time, and that's okay. So you've got to be patient. All right? So open-minded, be patient. The next thing is this: you've got to diversify. You have to diversify. We like sowing into things that, you know, we're familiar with, and I'm not saying to sow into things that you don't understand, but I'm saying you have to sow into a lot of different things. All right, so verse 2 said, invest in 7 ventures, yes, in 8. You do not know what disaster may come up upon the land. So a lot of us, we got one job, and if that job goes away, we go away with it, right? We don't know what to do. We don't have anything to fall back on. This is telling you, you need to invest in 7 things. 8 if you can, right? So even if your job is the only source of income that you have right now, you need to be using that paycheck or whatever and diversifying it and not spending it all. All right? I know Christmas is coming up and you got 10 lists and you checking them twice, but I'm telling you, you got to be prepared for this. So use what you have and diversify that. So you should have savings being built up. All right? If you have a problem with saving, do it automatically through your job if you're able to. You need to be investing as well. A lot of companies have investment programs, and if they don't, there are banks that have those opportunities to you and for you as well. You can use your paycheck and start putting it aside to build a product for yourself. You can write a book. You can write a book. It takes nothing to really do that and publish. I mean, you can publish for little to nothing on Amazon through CreateSpace, right? Less than $1,000, and that even might be high, but you got to learn to diversify if you're going to increase. Because again, if that one thing goes away, you're gonna go away with it. And think about this: we just got a new president. We don't know what the world's gonna happen. Like, no clue. But if all your eggs are in one basket and they take your one basket away, what are you going to do? I want you to think about that. I want you to write that down. Write that question down. If my one basket was taken away today, what would I do? I want you to think about that. All right? The next thing is this: you're going to need to accept some things. You need acceptance. And what I mean by that is there are some things that are going to happen that we don't have any control over. And I don't mean acceptance. I'm not talking about being complacent. There's 2 totally different things. Accepting means this is my reality right now and I can do something to get out of it. When we're complacent, that means we just don't care. We're just comfortable in the situation and we have no desire to change it. So I'm saying you're going to need to have some sense of reality and acceptance. Okay, so verse 3 said, if clouds are full of water, they pour rain on the earth. Whether a tree falls to the south or to the north, in the place where it falls, there it will lie. You can't control it. It's raining outside right now, and there's nothing that I can do about that. I have no control over the rain right now. Right? If a tree falls, wherever it falls, that's where it's going to fall. Okay? So you got to have some sense of acceptance that there are going to be some things that you are not going to have control over, but don't let that stop you. Do not let that stop you. Okay? The next thing is courage. Number 5. This is number 5. You're going to need courage. So verse 4 says, whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap. I am a planner. I am a planner. I like details. And when I don't have them, I don't like it. I don't like it. And it makes me uncomfortable. And I want to see the whole thing before I move forward. But guess what? It doesn't always work like that. And even if you have a great plan, you put that plan into practice and already things start changing, right? Again, I just said you need to accept the fact that there are going to be some things that happen that are beyond your control. So you're going to have courage and know that the conditions aren't going to be perfect before you step out there. They just aren't. Yes, take a calculated risk, do your research, assess and all that. I mean, you might be 60, 70% sure at best, but you're never going to be 100% sure. You just aren't. And so you're going to have courage as you go out here and you start, plugging into different things. I mean, I said be open-minded. I've been to conferences in other cities, didn't know anybody who was going to be there. It was just taking a risk and being like, well, it sounds like a great opportunity and I'll go there. And it was amazing, right? But I had to have courage to do that. And I don't really, I'm introverted by nature. I don't really like, mingling and all that other stuff with strangers, not my thing. So that was totally out of my comfort zone for me. And it took courage in order to do that. I couldn't worry about, well, what if I get down there and I don't meet anybody? So what? I mean, we're all there for the same thing. Make some friends and get over yourself, So if you're waiting for the perfect opportunity, not going to happen. Just go with what you got and allow God to help you along the way and to make up the difference, okay? Number 6, you need humility. You need humility. Verse 5 says, as you do not know the path of the wind or how the body is formed in a mother's womb. So you don't know everything. You are never going to know everything. I love learning. I love reading. I will probably never stop learning because that's just my nature. Like, I just want to know stuff. I just want to know. Yeah, but I'm never going to know anything, and I can't think that I'm going to have every piece of knowledge before I'm able to take a risk. And so yes, you talk to different people and all that, but just know you'll still make mistakes along the way. There's still going to be stuff that you're going to find out down the road. So just take what you know and get started with that. But you're not going to know everything, and that makes it interesting. And you just want to keep pursuing because, I don't know everything. So that just brings you towards more opportunities to learn and grow. Just commit to being a lifetime learner. It doesn't matter what you're pursuing, okay? Whatever your talent, your business adventure, the industry that you're in, commit to being a lifetime learner because there's just no way for you to know everything. Hey, and then number 7, you're going to need faith. You're going to need faith. So it's you cannot understand the work of God, the maker of all things. So we know that, God's ways are not our ways and his thoughts are not our thoughts. So we're going to need faith, and we're going to have to trust him whenever we can't see. I posted something on Instagram earlier and I was like, we're always tempted to look back when we can't see our way forward, but we don't look back. We look up. All right? So when you're tempted to look back because you can't see in front of you, don't look back. Look up. God is your help. God is your help. So you're going to need faith. You're going to need faith as you start sowing into this different thing, as you start walking into your purpose and pursuing the goals that you've set for 2017. And it's hard. I'm telling you, preaching to the choir here. It is super hard. But if it wasn't hard, then we wouldn't need faith. We walk by faith and not by sight. So you're going to need faith as well. And then number 8 is you're going to need to be diligent. You're going to need to be diligent. Verse 6 says, sow your seed in the morning, and at evening let your hands not be idle, for you do not know which will succeed, whether this or that, or whether both will do equally well. So you don't know. You got to be flexible and be diligent. So just because you tried something once, it doesn't mean that, and it didn't work, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't try it again. Maybe the timing wasn't right. We just never know when the door or window of opportunity is going to open. But we can't just do something one time, and if it doesn't work or sprout up right away, then it's a failure. No. I mean, when you plant a seed, it spends some time in the dark before it sprouts up, right? And even if you buy those plants, you know, the ones in the little black plastic that already got the flowers sticking out of them, even if you buy them that way, somebody had to do something before it could get to you like that. So they didn't just put a plant in the dirt and sell it to you. Somebody still had to plant the seeds and water it and everything else so that they could grow. Okay? So if you plant, you know, you're doing something in the morning and it doesn't work, keep doing it. Do it at night. Do it a different way. But don't give up on it just because one way is not working, because you don't know when the harvest is going to come. Sometimes it'll come in the least expected or least likely places through the least likely person. Okay, so don't just be stuck on your job. Don't be stuck in, you know, your church or your community or whatever that case is. You can apply that principle in a different way, just not, you know, morning or night, but it's just saying to continue to be diligent, be open, and be flexible with what you're doing, because you just never know. You never know. All right, so those are your 8 things. Be open-minded, have patience, diversify, have acceptance, a sense of reality there that you're not going to have control over everything. Have courage, humility, faith, and diligence. All right, so it's great to expect more and to desire more, but you got to put in the work. We are in partnership with God. All right. Yes, he has promises and plans for us, but we are in partnership with him. Faith without works is dead. All right. Cool. I love you guys. Again, I always hope these are helpful, and if they are helpful for you, then share them with somebody else as well. I'm sure if it's helping you, it may help somebody else. You just never know. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in and following and sharing and liking. Thank you for the hearts and the comments today. You can follow me on Instagram at Arianne Maccabee for daily inspiration and updates and all that fun stuff. You can also visit my website www.ariannemaccabee.com and check out my first book, Destined to Fly, The Pursuit of Purpose. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and I'll meet you back here tomorrow. Bye.